but you needed an entire podcast to explain away a list of things that all point in the same exact direction. I tend not to be the kind of person to judge anyone or assume anyone's lying. I'll take somebody's word for whatever they say, unless it's necessarily sus. And what you were saying was sussy baka as shit. Dear Akaash, I know it's hard to be in your position right now. It's like you can't win no matter which direction you walk. You want to admit in some spots where you're a simp, and people go, well, yeah. And then you come out and you try to defend other things to make it seem like you're not a simp in other places, and people are like, why are you lying? Your wife comes out and says just this whole list of things that you have to kind of unexplain rather than making it make sense, which is what the people were looking for, but I guess that's kind of how it works. I think you're taking notes from politicians, perhaps. I don't think anybody hates you. I think we just want to see you be honest. I would even go as far as to say Andrew Schultz, who knows you probably better than anybody else, continues to make fun of you because he knows the situation. And I don't think any good friend would do that. Well, maybe he's not a good friend. I don't know. Scratch that. We want to see you win. Do we? I don't care. Your fans want to see you win. I want to see your relationship continue. Just as a human being, I think it's really sad that you're going through what you're going through. I would hate if my relationship stuff was brought out to the public by myself and my partner to be scrutinized, only for it to be known to the public that I'm a simp. What is a simp? I don't know. But you're a husband. Husband first, simp second. Corinthians chapter 3. I don't know. I don't know what anything is or what anything means. I just think that it's really, really silly what's happening. I think it's really lame that Andrew continues to make fun of you for it. Not necessarily. I would go as far as to say he's not making fun of you for your situation, but he's kind of bringing it up when it doesn't need to be brought up. I'm sure you're trying to look past it and trying to sweep it under the rug as a piece of the past. Taking your wife's podcast away from her with the swiftness of a bald eagle as she kind of just climbs back into the bed of money that you give her. I mean, you could have let her work a little. I don't know. I hope that celebrities take note, at least internet celebrities take note. Maybe Bobby Lee, for instance. I'm sure he's taken note of his own stuff. I mean, he's still pretty vulnerable, but I think there's a degree of vulnerability that you shouldn't be on the internet, especially as it pertains to your marriage. That was terrible foresight. I do hope that your relationship remains okay. I don't want to make any jokes about this because it's a very serious situation. I do kind of enjoy seeing the pain in your eyes as Andrew Schultz says funny things about it and you subtly ask him not to. I would like to see you not be a simp for Andrew Schultz and actually come out and say, hey dude, please don't talk about this anymore in general. I know that that's what you want to do, but your pride has shown itself so far. And considering that you won't come out and be honest about many of the small tidbits of information that your wife was saying, I'm pretty sure that you won't have enough, you won't have enough conviction, perhaps, to approach Andrew Schultz and say, hey, I'm feeling really vulnerable. These are sores that are still very painful for me. Please stop talking about it. You won't do that. And if you do, I wonder how that'll go. So eventually what I think will happen is Schultz and Akaash will have a falling out. Listen, if you don't have a falling out, it will be due to you coming out and asking him not to talk about your marriage on the podcast. Or if you do, make it really light, skip over it. I don't want it to be a main subject. I don't want to give the public any more ammo. I don't want to feel like a fool anymore. These past few days or weeks or months have been really painful, and man, people are still talking about this. I think it would be really beneficial for you to say that to Schultz. And this is meant to be helpful. I know I goofed a little, but editing Pinksy here, guess what? If you're like me, you're probably paying extra attention to that pink thread that I have on my face. Speaking of goof, never mind that. Like and subscribe. I just wanted to say that. I didn't just want to say that. I honestly wanted to say this thing that I'm saying, but like and subscribe is the thing that you're supposed to say, so I'm going to say that. Bye. I genuinely feel like this is like a sad thing. People are laughing. And is it funny? Yes. But it's also really sad. And when I think about it, it's a marriage. That's a big deal. So I decided to be serious about it. I really don't care that much. And I'm having a lot of brain fog. But this is not about me. This is about Akaash. I just want you to know that you could save your own career if you're just honest to your fans about your living situation, about your marriage situation. I'm not saying that celebrities have to come out and say whatever their relationship looks like, but I am saying you already did, and the people don't believe you. And I'm not saying that if you say things and the people don't believe you, then you have to, say something else. If you're being honest, you're being honest. But it just doesn't make sense. If it was one thing that was said, two things maybe, cool. But you needed an entire podcast to explain away a list of things that all point in the same exact direction. I tend not to be the kind of person to judge anyone or assume anyone's lying. I'll take somebody's word for whatever they say, unless it's necessarily sus. And what you were saying was sussy baka as shit. And what she was saying, it was real at first, and I loved it. I loved how real she was. I loved all the things that she was saying. I think she opened a real good, nice, beautiful window into the sweet, sweet night of how some celebrities live their lives, how some people live their lives. Necessarily people with money who can afford to have a hot person by their side that they use a lot of money on, and that's one of the reasons why they're there. That's not a problem, dude. The issue is that you think that's a problem. You make fun of yourself for that sometimes, and that's awesome. But how about instead of explaining away the rest of the stuff, make fun of yourself for the rest of the stuff? That would have worked. But you decided to explain it all away, as opposed to making it make sense. And it ended up making everything make less sense. I hope that you can grow a pear, maybe an apple, an orange. Because aren't you tired of these people coming out and saying these things about you? I would be. Wish the best for you, Akaash. Tell Andrew to stop talking about you and get your wife that podcast, because you're pulling some real political moves out here, man. A politician would say, well, can't see this. But a real person who appreciates and wants to be vulnerable with their fans would allow that person a stage to continue to be honest without fear that she might slip up and say something that the public would take and put into that bucket. And I'm sure you guys had a conversation about that. Hey, you can't do this podcast thing anymore because you said way too much. I'm scared. It's affecting us. I don't want you to say anything else by accident that people misconstrue. I don't want you to give anybody else any more information and insight into how I just give you money and really, really wish that one day you'll kiss me. I wish you guys the best. I hope you can make an entire special on your marriage. I hope you can make fun of every single detail that was shared. I hope that you can take that time to be fully honest. It'll probably be the biggest special if you did that. And I think if your wife had a podcast, that would be an opportunity for people to get more insight into just the kind of person that she is. From what I've seen, I didn't really think anything bad of her. I quite liked her. I thought she was a person, I guess. She wasn't repulsive. And you love her. And that's what's important. I think the biggest thing to remember is just that. The situation looks how it does, and it feels how it does. Both shitty. But you love her. And sometimes when we love somebody, we're okay with whatever the situation looks like. Or we prefer it. Maybe this is what you prefer. Say it. Your fans love you. And it's not that they hate that you're a simp. It's that they don't want to be lied to. I don't think you're a simp. I think you're a husband with money who really, really wants to kiss a girl. I'd really want to kiss a girl too, if I never had. So I understand your pain. I'm a guy with a pink bonnet, fingernail paint, shameless. But I am honest. And I think honesty wins every single time. Good luck.
Also, click the stuff. I'm just gonna say it, cause that's what I gotta do.